So if you have a plugin that has no parameters, if you have loaded it, what you can do is you open the plugin and then you click on configure, and then for example you make the learn function. So and now I have all the parameters assigned and also on the keyboard, but I have 16 pages. I don't need those 16 pages. Let me close this UI fenster here. So what you can do is now, and also let me close this. So you have selected the configure button here, yeah, and from that point you can now, these are 16 pages, and what you can do is you can say you hit backspace and then you delete all those here on the UI. There I am. You can delete them. So and then we have here reverb B5 gain. You can move this to the first, then reverb B4 gain, and we move this here. Then we have for example the shape, we move this here, and then we have B2 frequency. So we have now B5, B4, B2, and they are on our first page. So I will now delete all the others which I don't need. There are tons of parameters, as you can see. So, and let's say we have 16 parameters, so we have 2 pages, let's say like performance pages, and 8 and 16. So this we also will delete, this will be deleted, and those. So now we could say we move the lo-fi and this lo-fi up front, and now we have here the lo-fi, and now we want also this lo-fi here and this. So now we can close configure, we can close this, and now we have only 3 pages. Okay, and we don't need the 3 pages. Let's open it, let's click configure, and let's delete the mod, and let's delete, what can we also delete? This. So, and let's also delete this. Okay, cool. Now we are done. So, and now we have 2 pages. Here you see it, 1, 2, and we can arrange it. And the same as if you load any plugin, this is already pre-mapped. So like this, yeah, or maybe we take in, I don't have so much instruments. Yeah, it would be the same. So if you would map all these, we had like 38 pages. What we just do is we click here, configure, it's already clicked. So, and then I attack, decay, sustain, fade and release, and fade we don't need, so we can delete this here, and we can delete the ribbon, and now we have filter, decay, attack, decay, sustain and release. So, and then I want also these guys. So, and now we have a little problem that okay, here it's cool, you can, but you see filter 1, filter 1, filter 1. So what you can do now is either you touch the encoder that you see what's written there, or what I actually mostly do is, and this is a super nice trick, you hit Command G and then you group this. So, and what we have now done is we have here filter 1 attack, okay, so, and I will this assign just to macro 1. And now I can say F1 attack, for example. So, and on my rack, it says filter 1 env. Okay, so, and this is this thingy here. And I could now close this completely. And then I could say, go with the high cut frequency. And if we group this also, then we can map it. So, and this go to and we want this because here it's not like this, but I want it like high cut. So, and what you also can do is, this is a super nice trick. You see we have high cut here, and let's say we have high cut, and then at value 64 we change it to a low cut. So, and then you can write So, and what happens now is, what you can do is, here you see high cut value 64, and if you then scroll on your, if you go with the mouse over the thingy here, then you can scroll and you see what's happening also there, if this is a multi-macro, for example, because I could also assign the reverb amount now to this high cut value. And if I go to map, then I see here, I have here the high cut frequency and the reverb amount, but I want only, so like this and like this. And if I turn now this knob, this will move those two, but in different ways. So, and now I could say this is a multi-macro, which enables from, what is this? This is the high cut. So 1 is gleich high cut, oh, that's odd. And then let's say 46 is low cut. Of course the parameters are not fitting, but you get the idea, right? So, and now you can say, okay, I always know if I turn value 1, I have the high cut, and then here I would enable the low cut filter or so. And here, you just scroll it. And if you like, you can, okay, this color is like this brownish. Oh no, it's not the same. Let's take it like this. So, and from this point, also the color has changed. And if I would now switch to this one and load drum thingy or whatever, then this hasn't any parameters, then this will become yellow. And if you would load max for life, yeah, you get the idea, right? So you can always use any plugin, and if this has a million parameters, maybe I can try this one. I'm not sure if this will work. So, no. 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 Yes. So, and here we have 16 pages, and in this case, I would just go and click configure and delete anything what you won't need, and you see it directly on the hardware. It will only keep what you want, and you can always say, I want feedback on knob number 1, and I want my ladder color on knob number 2, and frequency on knob number 3. You see? And then you can delete all the other thingies. So, and one last thing, what you also always can do is, if we go and take Diva again, you can group Diva, so Command G, and what you also could do is, you could group this again, Command G, and then you group this again. So, and now you can say you want this, the main. This shall be the, let's say, the cutoff page, and this shall be, oh, and this shall be the end page. So, and now you can say, I want, so you can say, you can now assign like the cutoff to, let's go to macro 16, and let's call it like this. So, and this we now will move to this, and there's the cutoff, okay. But we want this on the one. So what you could do now is, you have your main Diva, so to speak. There is our Diva with our 16 parameter pages, okay? And if we would have mapped it now, we could say we have mapped on the main page, like divas volume, divas, I don't know, so what you do the most. Then you could open it, and then you have here on the top your filter cutoffs assigned for, I guess diva has a lot of different filters. So you could say you map your letter filter 2, letter filter 4 only to those pages, and then you have your nth page where you would, let's say you have the do our VCO on, and then you would map these to the first page, and then you would go to the DCO, and this you would then map to the second page, but it's only in the nth, and if you open it. So now you could only edit this, and then let's say you want to go deep into Diva, and then you can go into it and go to your pages. But that way you have 16 macros for your main performance, and let's say you want to do a small break or whatever, then you open it and go to cutoff and make it like this. This is the thing actually how it works in NKS2 style, right? Because now we have our edit tabs. I could close it, and if I would go with an NKS2 product like this one, so we have here plus, we can open it, and we have the edit tabs, and with contact it's actually the same, so we can open it, and then we have the edit tab. Maybe let me take a better example. Yeah, okay, so, and then we have the edit tab. So we have now the instruments, the preamp, the FX, the post FX, and the settings, and we can go back, and we have the performance page. And the same would be if I go with Command Z. Yeah, you get the idea, right? So you always can then go, and if the parameters are available, you can say you want to, I'm loading now. You can just click configure, and then I want only FX button 1 for Alicia keys. So and if this would be a normal, not an NKS2 product, then you would see it now only here. But since this is an NKS2 product, you cannot edit this thing here. But always do 16 pages, go to configure, and start to arrange your pages. This is the cool thing. You can build your own pages now. Oh.